MagMongoSlade.
Welcome to 3 Count Commentary. We're going to talk about this Jacob Fatu scam, apparently. Apparently, he's been taking money from charities to do wrestling shows and then not showing up to the shows. So this is a news piece. I think this is a local news piece. First, we got to give credit to at ClownBall9 who posted this video, and I saw it. So give that guy credit for posting this video. I don't know where he got it from. I'm just saying this is where I got it from. So Jacob Fatu apparently has been scamming charities. Let's see what this story is about.
We are hoping that with that, we will get the money back that he owes us at some point.
Now to Nina, where a local nonprofit is going public with a story of a pro wrestler who they say took payments for an appearance and then never showed up. Now more organizations are saying they've experienced the same thing. Your Nina neighborhood reporter Darby McCarthy went to Jake's Network of Hope to learn more.
Do what you love and you never work a day in your life, and that is...
Wrestler accused of ghosting nonprofit. Oh my goodness.
true here at Jake's.
Jen Harper is the Director of Development at Jake's Network of Hope. She says she loves how rewarding her job can be by helping underprivileged families and other nonprofits every day.
At Jake's here, we only have 5 full-time staff, and then we rely on about 8,000 hours of volunteer time a year.
But in April, this nonprofit encountered something unexpected. Jake's decided to put on a wrestling event fundraiser hosted by Lawrence University.
One of my old coworkers is an ex-professional wrestler, and he's like, hey, I know a guy. Like, are you interested? And I was like, yes, we are.
They booked names like Billy Gunn, Vampiro, Tatanka, Brian Pillman Jr.,
and then Jacob Fatu.
But when the day came, Jen says Jacob called out.
Jacob called and said that there was a family emergency. We gave him the benefit of the doubt at Jake's. We are 100% about family, and I said, if you can't make it, that's fine.
Jen says all she asked was that her nonprofit be reimbursed for the money they spent booking him and for the plane ticket.
Wait a second. So he said he got fronted the money, and all they wanted was the money back, plus the plane ticket. Bro, this shit is $2,632. If his big hungry ass don't give these people this $2,000, I thought it was more money than this. $2,630. I have $2,632. Are you serious?
Scheduled the flight that he missed originally. And about an hour after that flight took off, we were made aware from him that he wasn't coming. After that, he ghosted us. He ghosted the production team that puts together the wrestling show. And he ghosted the person that booked him for us.
Oh my God. So he ain't talking to nobody? You don't see that fool on TV every week? Just call WWE. Oh, wait a minute. This must have been before. This must have been before he signed then. Even before he signed, he couldn't borrow $2,000? Well, $2,600? I don't think anybody in his family would have missed $2,600. You know how many millionaire Samoans running around there playing football and wrestling? Y'all can't come together to give Jacob $2,600 so he can get these people their money back? This is horrible. And they own public airwaves, airing this dude out. Samoan werewolf. More like Samoan Casper.
Says she and the staff at Jake's initially planned to keep quiet about the whole ordeal until they saw posts on social media from other organizations saying Fatu had done the same thing to them. But some good has come of it. Jen's
other organizations? There are more? So maybe it's more than 2,000. No. How many people did he scam? What the hell?
Says that a major name from Jacob Fatu's wrestling family heard about the incident. And though that person does not wrestle anymore, they reached out to offer an appearance at Jake's wrestling fundraiser next year.
was kind of really out of the blue to get a phone call from somebody of that magnitude to say, hey, what can we do? How can we help?
I reached out to Jacob Fatu at the numbers provided by organizations who had been in contact with him. He has not responded to requests for comment on the situation at this time. Reporting in Nina, Darby McCarthy, NBC 26.
We are hoping that with that we will get.
Oh no! So somebody from his family offered to fill in for him. This is a disaster. This is no good. So I got to see if there's other charities. I got to see how deep this well goes. Okay, so just a cursory glance of what occurred. Apparently, this story broke actually last year while he was still under MLW contracts. I'm looking and seeing that a lot of this stuff happened while he was in MLW. I can see why he might not have had $2,500. He was working for MLW, for God's sake. So, okay. So according to things that I'm seeing on the internet, it says update from Jen Harper, Director of Development at Jake's Network of Hope, and Jacob Fatu are working to resolve the situation. Official statement says Jacob Fatu and our organization are addressing the matter privately, beginning with a phone call and a heartfelt apology back in May. While the full amount owed hasn't yet been repaid, we appreciated Jacob's acknowledgement. It can be tough to face up to your wrongdoings, and we commend him for taking steps forward confronting his. So, wait a second. You owe these people $2,600. $2,633 to be exact. And you still have not paid them, even though you admitted that you kind of got over on them. This was in May. In May of you called these people in May of 2024 and still have not sent them a check. What is going on? I could have paid $2,600 in the amount of time that it's taken him to pay this money. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, apparently, he deactivated his Twitter account immediately after all of this stuff came out. What horrible shit this is, bro. This is not something you can just walk away from. This is a mess. Okay, so another NBC article says a pro wrestling king in South Bend, Indiana said Fatu had taken their money and stopped responding to calls for an event on June 3rd. That's what made this organization go public. Oh my God. So that means he did this at least twice. Did the other organization talk about how much money he may owe them? Oh, what a disaster. Look, we could say that this is, wrestling fans, because this is what it is. People saw it on Reddit or something like that, and then decided to bring it up to sort of embarrass Jacob. But pay these people their money back, bro. Unless you can really prove that you had some kind of family issue, just get them their money back, man. It's $2,633, bro. That's really all it is. It's not a lot of money, but it just goes to show how these guys are struggling. They're out here running scams, bro. But then again, look at Logan Paul. So maybe it's not just a broke indie wrestler thing. It's just it's a character flaw, but this is hugely embarrassing. No wonder he deleted his Twitter account. This is extremely embarrassing. All right, so I'm looking at the Reddit post that apparently started this whole thing. It's over a year old. It says, I'm associated with a nonprofit in northeastern Wisconsin, Jake's Network of Hope. A few months ago, our charity, along with a local wrestling organization, put on a wrestling show. One of the wrestlers hired was Jacob Fatu. Unfortunately, on the day of the event, he no-showed it. Jakes was told by Mr. Fatu that it was a family emergency. However, it was later discovered that that was a lie, and after further investigation, it was found out that he had also done this to multiple organizations, not other charities as far as we know. Mr. Fatu has since failed to pay back the charity what he took for the event. Then he starts talking about being a wrestling fan. This behavior is abhorrent. Then he, of course, talks up Vampiro for putting over their company, their charity, and a promo. This can be pretty embarrassing, and he should be embarrassed for this, because it's such a small sum of money, to get over on people. And this is what we mean by wrestlers are workers. It's like a heist sometimes. You want to get the money, and then you don't want to do the job. I would always be hesitant to pay people before they actually work, because at that point you don't even know what you're going to get. As we see, they may not even show up. But a lot of wrestlers, they do the 50-50 gimmick. You give me half when I get there, and then you see me half later. And that leads to a lot of, pay issues with indie wrestlers, because they'll say, oh, you didn't give me my half after I left. Or sometimes if you're a big enough name, you can demand it all up front, and then you come in out of shape and winded, and you bullshit through your match, and it wasn't worth the money. There's a lot of different things that can happen when you're not familiar with running a wrestling product and you getting involved with pro wrestlers. But this is top shelf embarrassment. I don't think it'll have any effect on his WWE career, even though it probably should. I'm not sure what they could do. I mean, you can't fire the guy for no showing an indie show. Even if it was a charity, he just no showed an indie show, which is what a lot of indie wrestlers do. Apparently, from things that I've seen online, this was a regular thing for Jacob Fatu, that he would regularly miss shows. But then again, none of this stuff can be verified. It's all just, people coming out and saying this stuff now, that he has a knack for no-showing events. So PW Insider did a little bit more digging onto the story, and we actually got Pro Wrestling King. They made a statement June 4th, 2023. It says, yesterday's Defying Gravity event on June 3rd was to have Jacob Fatu appear and wrestle. Originally through email, PWK and Jacob went to phone calls and text for agreements, and everything was squared away. Through Expedia, a hotel as well as flights were secured. One of the original phone calls said a deposit wasn't needed, and we were already getting a hotel and flights. But then on May 30th, Jacob asked for a deposit via Cash App, which we agreed, and the remainder would be in cash night of. We said we could do. The first flight was to leave in the morning of Saturday, June 3rd, and he never got on it. PWK spoke with an Expedia agent, and they said Jacob had canceled the flight. We checked back a few hours later, and they said the time he canceled was 8 a.m. We have contacted him and his wife via text messages several times, initially worrying something happened, and gave the benefit of the doubt, but we haven't heard back. We hope everyone is fine, and we would like to be recouped. We apologize to all our fans who looked forward to seeing and meeting Jacob last night, as well as go against one of our best wrestlers out of the Midwest. But unfortunately, it was beyond our capability. We are asking publicly Jacob to return the funds immediately and recommend companies second guess depending on him to be on their shows in the future, including our screenshots providing proof of our claims. We pride ourselves on delivering what we promise 100% to be the best of our abilities always. Once again, we know things happen. We just want answers and restitution. Thanks to all our wrestling fans always. And they have screenshots of their conversations with Jacob Fatu. So it says, "Afternoon, sir. This okay for your theme song?" So they're talking about theme songs. And then Jacob sends them, "Uso, can you send flight info, please?" It says, "Yes, sir. Just forward it to your email. We'll try to send here too." And then get the Expedia. This is real bad. This is real bad stuff. Then it says, wait, what's the next one? Oh, dang it. I'm trying to navigate Facebook without a Facebook. So, y'all gotta bear with me here. All right, so this one says, "Brother, on the flight from San Francisco, can you just get me to Chicago?" Says, "I won't be there until 5 p.m. Then the guy responds, "That was the one you sent you'd rather do, and I bought it. It's more expensive, but it's in our town, about 8 minutes away from our building." And then Jacob responded, "Okay, great. Thank you, bud." And the guy says, "You're welcome, my friend." And then he says, somebody will pick him up. And I guess he just never got on that plane. So that's terrible, bro. Now, another piece of business that's worth discussing here is that apparently it's a similar situation going on with Zilla Fatu. Is that he's also very difficult to deal with on the indies. So, I believe Brett Lauderdale basically says that he will not be on any more GCW shows. Maybe they patched that up, but there was some really passive aggressive tweets about Zilla Fatu from Brett Lauderdale. And I remember for a time Zilla was not even going to be around on Reality of Wrestling for similar situations. So in terms of Zilla Fatu, this was back in September. Brett Lauderdale said, quote, "Wrestlers with under 40 matches in their career should still be setting up rings, not demanding flights and hotels for their management and entourage. Young wrestlers, your reputation is everything. Be wise about who you surround yourself with. One chance to make a first impression." Now, Zilla Fatu did show up at the GCW show that I saw him at. I saw him and Jacob there. He regularly appears at House of Glory, but apparently he no-showed the GCW show in Philadelphia. So it's a thing with these guys, apparently, that they seemingly no-show events. Last year in 2023, Booker T had went public in September of 2023 at that Zilla Fatu would not be a part of Reality of Wrestling anymore. And I guess they patched it up because now he regularly wrestles there. And Booker T has been sort of an advocate trying to get him into WWE. But it seems just to be a history with these two guys that they no-show events and they're troublemakers, essentially. But with such a pathetic amount of money that's owed to this charity, you would hope that this would be squared away fairly quickly. But it shouldn't take you a year to pay back $2,000, and you were signed to MLW, which just got a $20 million windfall from WWE, shortly before he left. You mean to tell me he didn't get a raise? That he couldn't just pay this little situation off? And this was certainly something you should take care of before you ended up on WWE TV. Because of course it was going to come back up. Of course it was. As tribal as the internet is, you think this stuff was not going to come back up? Of course it was going to. So He's been getting WWE checks for the last couple of months. He absolutely has $2,633 that he could pay. And you know what? He should add a little bit more to it. I don't think it's enough to give them the money that they paid him back now. Just round it up and give him a 5 or a 10er just as a make good and call it a day. You know, at this point in time, you got to have the money by now. You know, and just to get this off your reputation and to set things right, it'll be worth it. You know, so. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you folks later.